And are we live? I think we're live. We should be live. All right. Thank you. Thank you, Ari. Welcome to the first meeting of the PNC for 2024. Yay!
Yay!
I am Drew Bingaman, your captain, and we're going to go around and do introductions and IDs. Ty, you're the first person I see.
Hello, I'm Ty Clifford, VC of USPP and West Virginia Observer.
All right, next is V.
Yes, Sarai Sophie Ben Silviego. I am Texas captain.
Jamie.
James O'Keefe, Massachusetts, acting as representative while our other representatives are otherwise indisposed.
Rowan.
Hello, Illinois, and home care guy.
All right. Next is Dustin, right?
Yep, from Virginia.
All right, thank you. Yari?
Hi, I'm Yari, aka Rose Klein, current representative of California.
Kusanagi, remind me.
Lindsay Angorsky, former chairperson of the United States Pirate Party, currently residing in New York. No party status as of now.
All right, thank you for joining us. Ben.
Yep, I'm Ben Horlick, the bean counter for the PNC and also the Texas representative.
Awesome. And Michael, last but not least.
Hello. My name is Michael. I am the scribe for the Pirate Party, and I'm gonna make a vow. 2024 is gonna be the year of the New Jersey Pirate Party. I'm gonna hope to get that together.
Awesome. We all look forward to that. Thank you very much. So quick, let's see if we can get this out of the way. Dustin, you have something that you need to talk to Yari about.
Yeah, so
I read the messages. I mean, please lay it out for the audience as well. But I yes, go ahead.
I guess what I'm saying is I want there to be like some level of acknowledgement of whether you're going to like take a certain amount of time to like assess something, or like if you're going to assess it at all or something like that.
Yeah,
that's where I'm like, that's where I have issues with the transparency part of it, I guess.
Understood. To be clear, Dustin, it's a lack of looking at messages, not a lack of transparency. In that I've been like on break and I'm only just starting to get back into this stuff. So I read them today. But in that sense, I did see the pings from, for those of you watching, there's a candidate in California who's not a candidate of the Pirate Party specifically, but wants the endorsement of the Pirate Party, Pirate Party California and or Pirate Party nationally. I did see the pings from him earlier, and I just haven't managed to get other folks together to discuss it. I think I'll say this, if like national folks feel like that's something that they want to take on, I'd be more than happy to let that go, since I feel like I'm just getting back into the groove of stuff. But if that's something that you would mightily prefer that the California group take care of, then we can take care of that, and I will try and get back to you. I can get back to you as soon as possible with an exact timeline, but I don't imagine it'll be that long.
Right. Okay. I guess where I was coming from was like, I was under the impression you were still like very busy and the California Pirate Party possibly wouldn't be like actually operational, in which case like it wouldn't be reasonable to expect you to like even potentially see it. And just not having policies in place to handle that scenario and then it becomes a situation of people coming to parties that aren't actually operating, and then like then that becomes a transparency issue because like there's no one there to actually accept anything or say anything.
I hear what you're saying. I don't think that's not the case.
Right. But I guess from my perspective, like, I don't know if that's the case because you haven't been, you know what I mean?
Sure. Okay. Yeah, I guess what I'm hearing is I need to make sure that the activities and or policies of the California Pirate Party are more visible and advertised.
No, I mean, I don't think it's just
I think that's true, but
yeah, I do. That's probably true. But I think it's more like having an understanding and like maybe thinking about what to do in scenarios where people end up not being able to like do work for one reason or another. Like just assessing.
Oh. Yeah, like
how to handle
who's gonna look at who's gonna look at chat messages meant for California folks when I'm not able to do it?
Yeah, and what to do in different scenarios, just in general.
Yeah, no, I'll be honest.
We
don't really have policy/contingency plans for that. And that's a good point. I don't know. I don't know what to do about that in this particular moment, other than to say that's a good point, and I'll write that down, and I will work with folks to make that happen. Yeah, I like that. That sure. Does that answer your question? I'm a little bit confused what else I could do.
Yeah, no, that definitely answers the question. I guess
okay.
To some extent I was like thwarting, trying to figure out like what to do because my understanding was you weren't really around.
Yeah.
And
heard and thank you for your persistence, and I apologize for not being around. And I'll try and find some other ways of doing that. With regards the question asked by the candidate, about endorsement and like the dialogue that has happened since then, from what I read about, having specific questions set up or something like that. Do you want that to be? Do we have a national thing for that? Actually, is it just a whole separate question?
Historically, we have not. It has been up to the state party when there is a state party to endorse a candidate. So, but things probably have changed. I can't really say more recently, but it seems like that still was the case from at least everything I've been reading.
I think this brings up a good point that we should probably develop a series of basic questions that we should ask potential candidates or potential endorsements. And that if we get everybody to agree with it, then they can also be the basis for the state questions too. So it's something we should put on our to-do list. That way it makes it just easy to just when something like this comes up, we can send them, here's the document, please fill this out and we'll get back to you. That kind of a thing. That would probably be best. Is there somebody that is interested in taking on that project? Or should we just...
I can, I'll throw my hand out there because I have some friends that kind of help on some of the nominating committees and some of the labor organizing bodies in Texas. And I bet I could probably, if I ask them nicely, they'll at least, give me some of their questions that I could use as a starting point. So I can ask for that and I'll get back to y'all.
Yeah. The only thing I would say is for like national pirates, just kind of hit them with the basic pirate questions that, do you, the questions that basically say, do you align with our core values? And then if that's the case, I suppose I have that that little political quiz that I kind of threw
Oh
together
yeah.
could also be a starting place that could help with that. You know, I was not my intent for it to be used that way, but it absolutely could.
No, it's definitely yeah.
So I think I saved that in the Discord. If not, let me know. I can get that to you guys too.
I think I've got the Google. I think you sent me the Google link.
Google
at some
Doc.
point or
Yeah.
something, yeah.
It's probably what I did. So I think that's a good thing to have. If we can just adopt that when it's done, then anybody can just be like, here, just fill this out.
This process will be a lot
And
easier.
then, in the state parties can obviously feel free to add, subtract, or whatever. At least there's the stock form document that they can
absolutely. Okay. So Ben, if you want to look into that and let me know if you need anything from me to help with the stuff that I put together, or I guess Liz, maybe you might have some input too. It sounds like maybe.
I could probably help out with it. I mean, it's pretty much, I've dealt with a lot of people who were coming to us. Like this is a million years ago. You probably, except Jamie, we're all in like kindergarten or something.
I probably wasn't.
Yeah, probably. But yeah, no, I've had to vet a lot of people. And usually I've got a good feel of it at this point. So yeah, I could definitely help out with that. And
awesome. No, I was just going to say that your experience with vetting potential pirate candidates and people would probably be very good to have. So
yeah.
We appreciate it.
Of course.
Okay. Is there anything else on this topic that we should be talking about? Anything else? V, you had your hand up at one point. Did you have something to add here? I apologize for not getting back to you.
It's just a continuation of a thought I've been having. I've posted other Pirate Parties documents on these matters in our Discord. I know we're on hiatus, but that's more information for Ben to acquire.
Awesome. Thank you for that. I mean, more resources from other people that have already done the work is appreciated. Okay, so it doesn't look like we have anybody here that was working on the vision statement, and so I'm just gonna say we should probably move on for that right now until we have somebody ready to report on that.
Just a point of clarification, what is the vision statement?
Vision statement is just sort of like the idea that we're putting together a generalized vision of where we want to be in a few years, and then what does a pirate, like the big vision is, what does a pirate world look like, or what does the pirate United States look like? So it's kind of like short-term and long-term goals, sort of a thing, to help us, instead of stumbling around in the dark, we have a lighthouse to follow.
Yeah, to help ground our efforts.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What the heck else? Let's see. Mitch is not here, so I guess we're not gonna. I guess we don't have any update from him on the convention. Convention / annual meeting. V.
I believe both Ty and Mitch were working on that.
Oh, okay. Ty, have you talked to Mitch at all about?
No, it has been a hectic holiday. I've not been in touch with Mitch at all.
All right. And V, do you have anything for any events that you have coming up, or that we have coming up, rather?
I need to send you something in chat.
Oh, you sent something in chat?
No, I'm going to send you something in
chat.
You're
going to send... I'm sorry. Okay, so we'll get that from V. Let me see. Okay. Then we will move on from that. Does anybody else have any business the old business that we need to review or talk about?
No, I was really hoping Johnny would be here for the vision statement, though, because he sounded pretty adamant about his composition there that with everybody. Oh well.
All right. Well, any new business or any reports? Let me ask that, I guess. I know we've been on hiatus, so if anybody has anything to report or any new business, not seeing any hands, I see a lot of shaking heads, and looks like this meeting might be a short and sweet one. Go ahead, Dustin.
Okay. Yeah. So a thing I would say is something I think I brought up on the Discord. I think a number of people support ranked choice voting, and I don't think we've taken an official stance platform-wise. But a lot of direct democracy stuff around that is going on. So per state, people may want to look at that for the current time. Because and just checking out direct democracy opportunities in general, because that's a very good route to get experience in legislation and stuff like that, and organizing from a more experienced group. And that's happening a lot right now. So it's good.
When you say direct democracy, are you talking about the group?
No, I'm not talking about the group. I'm talking about just literally like doing legal petitions and getting referendums and putting stuff on the ballot.
Gotcha.
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, I just wanted to clarify that.
Right. Thank you.
Okay.
It is used in multiple contexts. So yeah.
Jamie, you're next.
We plan to have our winter conference either January or very early February. That'll be online, and there'll be focus on running candidates, training people, discussions, things like that. So we're still working out the details. We've got a survey out there for our supporters and members, but just wanted you all to know.
Where can we look for the announcement for that then?
Everything's at masspirates.org.
That's what
There's a blog post about that.
Thank you, Jamie.
Michael. Thank you for making me do the plug.
I set you up and you spiked it. All right. Michael, go ahead.
Just a question, I guess. Do we need Mitch to discuss potential conferences and conference ideas? Like,
I would recommend it. Because he's
Well,
adamant on Chicago.
I know he's spearheading it, but
yeah. So what I would suggest on that is if you do have input on that, please get with Ty. If you could maybe hook up anybody that's interested with that to you and Mitch, maybe talking together, because it's probably better that if you guys put together a plan and then bring it to us, rather than us, us doing the committee thing, and then it takes forever. So if a small group of pirates puts together a plan, then we can look at it and see if it meets our approval. I mean, at the same time, if somebody else has V has shared the Discord channel for that, as a matter of fact, Michael, if you want to see that in the chat. If anybody else has an alternate plan, like if you have an alternate city plan or something, and you want to put together some ideas, by all means, I would say it's an open. It's not that Mitch necessarily is going. His setup is going to be his plan for the convention is going to be definitely the plan. So at this point, it's kind of like open for more or less bids. Let's put it that way. So if anybody wants to put something together, if they have some ideas, and or for a different location kind of a thing, by all means, put them together. So, does that cover it, Michael?
Yeah.
Okay.
I see it right under hot button issues. National Conference 2024.
Yeah. Yeah. Liz.
Yeah. So unfortunately, I've been tasked with more responsibility with the Hope Conference. I'm actually part of the team putting it together this year. We are putting forward a request for proposals on January 10th. If you haven't heard of Hope before, that's really a shame. It is one of the oldest hacker conferences in the United States. There's focus not just on like information technology, but lots of stuff on anti-censorship, biohacking. Of course, now that I'm talking about it, I can't think of anything. I know Massachusetts has been there before. In fact, I think that's the last time I saw you in person, Jamie. But it has recently moved away from the now demolished Hotel Penn to St. John's University in Queens, about a 15-minute drive from me, actually, very convenient. Yeah. So with that, we're looking for workshops, talks, art performance things. What else are we looking for? Workshops, villages, other sorts of exhibitions. If everyone wants to get a table, that might be a good idea. We have a little bit of an in because yes. Yeah. That's
Yeah, I was just gonna ask where we can find it online, what the website is,
yeah, sure.
and when the conference is. You may say
So
online.
the conference is going to be July 12th through the 14th, 2024, again at St. John's University in Queens. And you can get all details for it at hope.net. We just did the first round of ticket sales. I don't think it's going to be more than $200 per ticket, and that does not include a hotel room, but there will be a hotel block, and additionally, rooms will be available at St. John's. They're going to be opening the dorms to us, and the dorms comes with breakfast. So yeah.
Awesome.
So
That's-
is that included with the pay for the ticket? Or
For if you buy your space at the dorm room, yes, breakfast is included. Which someone reminded me about yesterday at the 2600 meeting. But we're looking for talks on things like election security, AI. I know that's probably something y'all should be looking at. The social impacts of technology, spying, counterintelligence, and tradecraft, net neutrality, right to repair, DMCA, hacker spaces, government institutions, privacy. Like these are. I'm cheating here. You are getting an advance notice of exactly what we're looking for. So
yeah,
and
very much our lane.
Yeah. Restore the Fourth was there in 2022. I said hi to the guy, and he's like, "Oh yeah, I spoke at the conference." I'm like, "I don't recognize you. I'm really bad with names," and made a fool of myself. So that was funny.
That's probably Alex.
Yeah, it was. It was
I think he
Alex.
there.
Yes.
Yeah.
They had a table. Someone's microphone. So we're looking, if you like, you have 3 days to be early. I think the RFP is going to close by March or April. That's a discussion, I think, as of right now. So be prepared. It's last time was about $200 a ticket. So, and again, that's like separate from like your stay.
Awesome. That
So,
sounds great.
you.
Actually, yeah. Do we have some social media space or blog space that we would like to use to share that out then at some point maybe?
Let everything come out officially first on the 10th. And
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I'd be happy to, at least schedule social media stuff. I used to do it for USPP all the time. So, yeah, we could do that.
I mean, unless we have an objection to that. I mean, I wouldn't imagine that we do, but sharing that info. So yeah, no, cool.
I mean, they brought me on the core fully knowing. So.
No, that goes back to what I was talking about with some other stuff. I consider that brand synergy. So awesome. No, that sounds really cool. I might have to look into that. Maybe come and attend if I can make it. Because it's really not that far from me. New York City's not really that far. So
no. Like and I'll say it now. I'm also going to be one of the people in charge of volunteers. After volunteering for a couple of years now, so get to come work for me. You get a free shirt, not a free ticket,
cool.
but a free shirt.
All right, cool. Jamie,
I just wanted to say maybe I could put together a talk about the camera mapping we've been doing.
Please. Oh my God, that'd be great.
Okay.
And DEFCON's like the anti-hope essentially, because they're DEFCON's industry. I'm in industry too, so I get it. But this is like the old school. What happens if I poke this too many times? Hacking.
No, I know. I just thought it was funny. That's just I happen to be wearing that shirt right now.
Ah, okay.
We should definitely have a gathering if
Yeah,
go
at the
out to
very
a
least.
restaurant or something. Yeah.
And there's some really good restaurants. I mean, it's literally my backyard, I can tell you. But some of the restaurants that are closer to St. John's, mwah, amazing. But yeah, come, please. Don't leave
Awesome.
me with those people.
No, that sounds great. Okay. Do we have anything else? Is there anything else we need to discuss today? I'm not hearing anything. So crickets. Then is there a motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Is there an objection? I'm not hearing any objections. So thank you everyone for being here. This is a great crowd. I mean, hopefully maybe we can sustain this and get a couple more people here that need to be here, like Mitch and Johnny. If we get those two, we'll be like setting records.
We can hunt them down. I mean,
yeah,
did I say that loud?
Yeah, it's fine. I know where Johnny lives, so I can get him. But he's almost as far away as New York City from me. But we can get him. And I know Mitch has been busy with work lately, so his work schedule has been miserable for him. So making these meetings, so I totally understand why he's not here tonight. And it also is possible that he might have still been technically on hiatus, and honestly, I think we were about as clear as mud with how long our hiatus was going to be, even though we did set a date and everything. But I think a lot of us have ADHD. I know I do, and that's one of those things that's very, very quickly can just gone.
Yep.
So, well, thank you everybody for joining us for our first meeting of the year 2024. I hope this is a great and successful year for us, and that we continue to grow. And next week back to IRC. Is that working? Have we tested that? Is that working again?
Oh my Lord! I can't. Can we talk about that? Because there's been
there's already been a motion to adjourn in second.
I mean, we can talk. We can talk informally.
Wait, informal, whatever. Are we, Rowan? Correct me if I'm wrong. You brought it up. I can't remember who else brought it up. But are we going to stick to going back and forth between Jitsi and IRC? Because it seems like we are 49 million times more productive in Jitsi. And that's just my view on it, but
the move to doing Jitsi every other week was at the time a suggestion to balance concerns of being able to receive input from the community, and also because it was a new thing. But I certainly personally have no objection to moving towards
the only thing I would raise would be like minute keeping. I don't know how captions work in here, but YouTube generally does an okay job at subtitling. It's a little wonky sometimes.
Well, even then, usually for Jitsi meetings, I just post the YouTube link. Maybe I don't know if that should be changed at all in the future, but it seems to have been working.
Yeah, the minutes should have just like a quick summation of everything. If someone wants to sit there and watch the meeting, and maybe like note the timestamp or something like that's
anything we officially vote on. You should probably be putting in down in the minutes, but other stuff like discussion, it can really just be high level overview stuff.
Yeah.
And then for IRC,
you can just copy and paste that. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
But I would not. I think if we meet every week on Jitsi, I think it's too much.
Not yet. Okay.
I
I
think
was
it's not.
wondering. Yeah, well, I was just wondering like how it got to that point. I mean, it's fine. It was just, I figured I'd raise it before I forgot about it
Yeah.
again.
Everything used to be on IRC, and then I think when I don't know, it was after, it was like maybe
It was me.
2018. Yep, it was you.
No,
Yeah,
it
so
was when I
2019.
was chair.
Yeah, it's 2019, 2020. That's when it changed to being because these meetings just they do work better, and it because we started out, it was very technically oriented, and yeah, it's not as accessible. Let's be honest, IRC is not accessible to the average person.
Not anymore. No.
Not anymore. No.
Yeah.
Look, I'm still in Libera. I'm like, yeah.
You're looking backwards at the old good internet, is what you're saying.
I think it's called Eternal September. Is the
Okay, there we
phrase.
go.
I just want to point out that David Hall in the comments on the chat or on the video said alternating to IRC.
Oh no,
That was the most.
Oh,
that was. Oh, right.
Ah.
Wait,
I have no idea what just happened.
you died.
It's
You
just-
died.
Oh, no.
I'm like, oh, I'm reciting the YouTube comments. Dead.
Amazing.
David Hall says alternating to IRC has its uses though. And the vids and the IRC, if we keep doing that, have worked so far, so no real reason to change it.
Just maybe like a. I mean, I know technically the meeting has been adjourned.
This
So
half
I
hour
realize
was
we're
fine.
not just. It's live out after
Yeah,
hours on
it-
YouTube. But just an idea that like popped into my head. Jitsi weeks maybe could be the bigger stuff planned. Like we could plan like bigger stuff being Jitsi, and then IRC can be a bit smaller, like stuff that is fine. Just a suggestion, of course, but
I think that makes sense, Michael.
Yeah.
I'll be perfectly honest and say that when I was secretary, I did occasionally shuffle around the bigger things with permission from the rest of the group to that exact way.
yeah. I think mainly as well because obviously, well, it's a face to screen interaction, but face to face,
Voice.
face to screen, seeing other faces, talking it out is vastly different from text. And I think both have their strengths. I know I prefer to talk things out, whereas, for example, my girlfriend, she always prefers to text things out. That way she can think things through rather than saying what comes to mind. So I know that both people have their strengths in different capacities. So yeah.
Well, thank you for entertaining it. I just
My
wanted
2
to raise
cents.
it again.
No, I think
To
it's.
see
I think
everyone's
it's-
opinions on it.
I think
yeah.
it's absolutely a good thing to bring up from time to time. But if there would be the answer is honestly is that is there an alternative for others to be other people that are not PNC to interact with the PNC, and that's what the IRC allows. Otherwise, we could get flooded with people on the Jitsi, so we keep that sort of private. So yeah, if you're interested, let me put it this way: if you're interested in getting rid of IRC, we need an alternative. I think right now we need an alternative.
We don't have
having-
one.
We don't have
We
one.
really don't have
Can I-
one
Can
realistically.
I butt in here?
Yeah, go ahead, Yuri.
So when the issue was first brought up, one of the things I was thinking about is that IRC recently, there have been a couple times, I know in the past few meetings it hasn't been too bad, but recently there have been a couple times where it just wasn't working for a lot of people. And so I do want to bring that up, not necessarily as a point against IRC, but maybe, because I do like IRC quite a bit, but maybe as a point for we should look into what it would take, and Jamie, maybe you know this, what it would take to start hosting our own instance of IRC,
No.
of Pirate IRC.
No.
Because
There are too many issues with
Oh.
hosting it as it is. Like I'm sorry, and I just
no,
tried doing
I know
this,
nothing. I know nothing. Please.
And yeah, no.
Mm.
This is actually a conversation I was just having with a couple of friends because reasons. The amount of work that goes into an IRC server, just standing it up and making sure, there's like some really big CVEs that have hit IRC stuff lately. Also, it's used as a command and control. That traffic is scary, and a lot of people don't like it because malicious attackers use that traffic. It may be time to just move to the Discord, honestly. It's been there for ages. That's pretty universal. It's pretty understood. I mean, I know it's a third party, closed garden sort of thing, but IRC just is not accessible to the average person. And there's a bunch of other issues as working in security over the years, that have come up. So, sorry.
No, thank you for saying that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, somebody would have to be like the person and be willing to take on all that, and it's a big project. So yeah, I'm absolutely agreeing with that assessment. So, Michael and then Dustin.
Just a quick note about IRC being more accessible to everyone as opposed to the Jitsi actual meeting being only for the closer people in the party. There is YouTube chat, I guess, technically, that people could utilize. Granted, it's not the most convenient compared to IRC where everyone's right in the same place, but just
I mean, at the same time, talking about it with the suggestion of Discord. I mean, you can also go into the voice chat with that if there's something that is not working in. But that's all kind of stuff that we need to hash out. So, if we want to move away from IRC, which I mean, it sounds like several of us do, and for good reasons, especially because it did let us down recently. In the previous months. So, Dustin, go ahead.
So, Michael actually brought up exactly the point I was going to bring up, because I do think it is the right thing to bring up to some extent. YouTube is basically providing the same service to some extent, and so long as we have, I guess I would say, a set period of time where we are directly talking to people and asking explicitly for comments for different things, or just open bar, then we do achieve the same purpose, I guess. But I guess the point would be you need to explicitly ask for things at certain meetings, I guess.
Well, I mean, I can in the beginning tell everybody that as we open a meeting that if there's any feedback, to post it in the YouTube chat. And it looks like Yari's usually in viewing that. So
we got the two windows side by side.
Yeah, so that sounds like that's something that we can do also. So
speaking of, we have two comments. One from Frank Flores, who says Discord is corporate, IRC is open. And David Hall, who says, it should be noted that the web interface for IRC has been reasonably easy to use, though I haven't visited that interface in a while, having my usual IRC client running all the time and parked in channel. I mean, if one is worried about complete novices not being able to get their heads around IRC.
Yeah, but that was the problem. That was the problem a few months ago, that the web chat was not working. The web interface was not working at all. And that made serious problems for a lot of people that's the only way that they ever used it. So, yeah, it is kind of a pain in the butt. So, but yes, if the web client is working, it's fine, but that has been problematic. So, yeah, go ahead,
Michael. I was just going to ask Michael if this could be put on an agenda for. I don't think it even needs to happen next week. I think it could happen in a couple of weeks, but just suggesting that we put something about, whether we should move away from IRC, and if so, what we should use. Discord was suggestion, and I think that's a good option. But yeah, sure. I think having a set aside time to talk about that would be good.
Yeah, just a quick thing about the corporate thing of Discord. Obviously, we're not meeting on a corporate. I don't know much about Jitsi, truthfully, but we're not meeting on like a corporate level site, but we are streaming it to a corporate level site of YouTube. So I think like in that capacity, like IRC is beneficial, that it's not a corporate thing. It's just like an open place to chat. Open words are failing me.
It's open source.
Slightly more censorship resistant, maybe the phrase.
Yeah. And I think obviously having two corporate places to discuss and have meetings would definitely be interesting. But obviously we can save more for later. But
this is the shitified internet that Cory Doctorow talks about. That's what we're living in right now. And it very much is very corporate. And I mean, if we can get tools that work well and are and are easy for our members, not just the hardcore hacker types, to use, and there's and we don't have security or other issues. Yes, we should probably look at using them. I absolutely agree, but that's the problem with the shitified corporate internet, that there's not a lot of that right now that's good and works and is reliable. So yeah, I mean, if that's why I said if you have suggestions, please throw them out there or put them. Yes, I agree with Yari. Please put this on the agenda for we'll call it old business, but put that out there on the agenda for us to discuss alternatives to IRC and what can we use that is not quite as much of a pain. So, all right. Anything else?
I have something else, but I'll save it for after the stream.
Okay.
Because I'll bring it up again probably next time we discuss it. But
anything else on the stream before we sign out of the stream and say goodnight?
We got another comment on the YouTube.
On the YouTube,
it wasn't necessarily context appropriate, but basically Sapient AI being.
I am responding to that right now, Dustin, and we're good. Let's move on.
Okay. So have a good night, everybody. Thanks for joining us. And next week we will try to be IRC if it doesn't blow up in our face.
Whatever.
Yari, you cloned again.
Yeah. No, there I am. Okay. Whatever.
You're like
yeah.
That's Yari's mutant power.
Let's get out. Let's be done.
All right. Are we out?
No,
Oh yeah, we're good. Pirate. Have a good night. Oh, vote pirate. Yeah, shoot. Okay, there we go. I'm terrible tonight. Okay.
We're out.
Okay. So, okay, Michael, now